early 2020, sort of COVID is just starting to break. And we have accused Wirecard of making up a big amount of its sales and its profits. So it's called in a second accounting firm to check the numbers. And everybody involved has started to realize that it really matters where all of Wirecard's money is. It's got 2 billion euros somewhere. And they keep saying, where's the money? And eventually Wirecard goes, oh yeah, it's in the Philippines. We've got a lawyer looking after it. And so all of these people go out to meet him, and they go to his office in Manila. And it turns out he has a YouTube studio there. And, I'm not saying anything about you guys, very respectable. But if we turned up and you two were looking at us, I wouldn't be expecting you to also be looking after 2 billion euros for a German bank. And it turns out that this lawyer gives advice about things like divorce and adultery on his YouTube channel. And he's had 100,000 subscribers. He had one of those little plaques from YouTube. And that's the guy who was looking after everything. And there's this whole crazy scene where he takes them to the bank. And they don't go to like one of the big towers in the financial district. They get in a car with a couple of police motorcycles escorting them through the traffic, and drive for 40 minutes to this tiny branch on like a little back road with dogs running around and, a bicycle repair shop next door. And they all crowd in. And this is the bank branch where I think about 1 billion euros of Wirecard's money is in. And some guy behind the desk pops up and he's like, hi. And they all say, we're here to talk about Wirecard. And he looks at them, Wirecard? And then he looks at the lawyer who's like, Wirecard. And he goes, ah. And he produces an envelope. And in the envelope is one piece of paper with like some misspellings. And it's signed by a junior branch manager, which says, yes, this guy is looking after 1 billion euros of Wirecard's money. And it turns out this is obviously a total fake. But it takes the accountants like 3 months to realize this when they've tried everything else. And so you hear that crazy scene and you're like, how on earth do they get away with it? But for whatever reason, the accountants have been signing off on these arrangements for years.
Did this happen in the Philippines?
Yeah, so this is in the Philippines.